Hope your day is full of tinsel and garland and holly and snow and dreidels and latkes and candles and ornaments and sleds and Santa Claus and I don't know what the fuck this is. It's a winter intro. I was planning on talking about fruits. I was going to talk about plantains, banana's cousin, the plantain. I don't know if you guys have ever had a plantain, but if you haven't had a plantain, I can't recommend plantains enough. This show is not sponsored by plantains. Plantains are just a fruit, which I find to be fun to eat. If you haven't had a plantain, go to a Brazilian restaurant, go to a Cuban restaurant, get some plantains. I wasn't planning on going off on plantains, but it's a pandemic, baby. We have an amazing episode for you this week with Stephanie Simbari. Stephanie Simbari is a wellness influencer. She's the host of That's So Retrograde. We sit down and we talk everything about our lives in pandemic to what it means to really take care of yourself. We talk about setting boundaries. It's a great episode. But before we get into that, I just want to tell you about something that excites me, and that's socks. Oh, yeah. Anyone who knows me knows I love socks. I have a different pair of socks on all of the time. I think a printed sock makes the day better. I also love printed masks, printed bandanas. I shop for all of my accessories from Oh Yeah. Oh Yeah is an amazing small business. They sponsor this podcast. Please go show them some love. Shop their website, ohyeah.com. That's 3 O's, HYEAH.com. Enter discount code Sara10. That's right. Discount code Sara10, SARA10 for 10% off. This podcast is also sponsored by Libra. Libra is an amazing dispensary located in Palm Desert. You can shop them at librashop.com. Follow them on Instagram at Libra Shops, and their flagship store is located in Palm Desert. So if you're passing through that area, be sure to check them out. Guys, here's this week's episode with Stephanie Simbari. It's a fun one. We talk everything you've ever wanted to know about wellness, boundaries, and more, plus life in the canyon. Here it is. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Shank. Sometimes you hit record late.
That was recording.
That was recording, but the audio wasn't.
Okay, it's fine.
That's okay. We have that moment on camera for forever. Guys,
that's so funny.
Welcome back to another episode of Shank. I'm Sara Weinshenk, and today's guest is Stephanie Simbari.
Hi.
Welcome back. We got a lot of beverages happening.
Okay, so far in front of us, we've got a June Shine.
We have a June Shine. And anyone who knows me knows I'm one kombucha Weinshenk. I can't drink much kombucha, hard kombucha, or I get loose.
I love the kind of drunk that hard kombucha gives you, because it's like live enzymes. You kind of get like, remember when you were little? Okay, it shows you how my upbringing was. Remember when you were a teenager and you would drink beer?
Remember when you were little and you were drunk?
And it was so fun.
Yeah.
I feel like you can never really get to that level of drunk as an adult. You're kind of like chasing a ghost. But when you drink a hard kombucha, you kind of get that silly feeling, because I think my theory is it's because of the live cultures that like it makes your stomach wake up, and your serotonin is in your belly, and it's like alcoholic. It's just like, I think that's a
great journey.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what's inside this. I know you guys at home want to know. Coconut, pineapple, orange, nutmeg, activated charcoal. Go off.
Only activated charcoal.
We love activated charcoal.
We don't want any of that inactive charcoal.
No.
Because I'm pretty sure that's the kind of charcoal that you use on like a grill.
I want some inactivated charcoal.
Yeah.
Honey, green tea. So yeah, I mean.
Then we're also drinking Can. Grapefruit, rosemary.
Can is a great cannabis tonic.
Are we about to be so fucked up?
I mean, listen, okay. We're back in lockdown. It's lockdown 2, activated. We can't even fucking go anywhere. So we're going to get twisted. She said twisted. We're going to get twisted on different beverages.
Sure. Let's not forget about Kin Euphorics, a beverage for humankind.
Let's talk about that.
Adaptogenic, amino acid oriented,
What is adaptogenic for the people at home?
Adaptogenic is an herbal thing, or sometimes I believe it can be a like a not chemical compound, but like in the way that like their amino acids in your brain are chemicals or naturally occurring chemicals, that it's just herbs. Okay. It's herbs. Sorry. I'm high.
No.
But the amino acids are also really important in a different way. But
what are they
adaptogens are basically an herb that you take that the more that you take it, like your body adapts to like the properties of the herb. So it's like if you took like one rhodiola, you might not, like you might feel it a little bit. It would kind of maybe relax you, but you would really start to see the benefits of taking something like that if you took it like for 30 days straight.
So are you
your
drinking
body
this?
Adapts. But this is actually
30 days straight.
This is actually GABA and L-theanine and 5-HTP and L-tyrosine, which are, oh yeah, there's rhodiola in it. See? Rhodiola. But those other ones are the amino acids, which are like the building blocks of your brain.
This is for sure connected to your brain because I know that I was not producing enough GABA.
GABA. And interestingly enough,
throwing out big words like GABA.
Can I tell you something interesting about GABA?
Stay for the science.
This isn't science. This is just my like picking up information along the way of being like
a wellness
weak and then getting strong.
Okay.
You know,
I thought you were going to say of being a wellness influencer, but you just said
I became a wellness influencer.
You just said of being weak.
Because I became a wellness influencer because I was sick.
Why do you think you were sick?
So this is what I was going to say.
GABA.
Interestingly enough, you can either take GABA for your brain, which is like it relaxes your brain and kind of like helps you focus and not be depressed. GABA is the same chemical compound as the anti-anxiety medication Buspar.
Yeah.
And
I've been put on anti-anxiety meds because I wasn't producing enough GABA.
Exactly, but you don't need the meds, you just need the GABA.
So that's
can the best part of like naturopathic medicine.
So, okay, so this is Kin.
So Kin.
How'd you find out about Kin?
They're a sponsor of my podcast, That's So Retrograde. And you can use code Retrograde if you're interested. This wasn't an ad, but now it is.
People are interested. Get involved. Get your GABA.
Don't you think that's so interesting?
I do think that's so interesting, and I don't think that many people know that. I also love that the lawnmowers really turn the fuck up. It was like, let's wait to start a podcast until the lawnmower starts.
You know what I think? I have this theory. I bet, first of all, that's not going to be that loud in here.
Okay, I'm just addressing it because in my head right now, it seems like it's the only thing in the room.
It is loud, but I didn't even notice it until you said something.
Okay.
I also love parts of the, I love to listen to NPR, like beat stories.
What's that?
You know, like where it's like, they're on the beat. Like the story is about a cop who like works the Skid Row and like it's the reporter following him around, like talking to some of the people on the street and like.
And is there music?
No, it's like Officer Weinshenk.
Okay.
Works the 9 to 7 hour.
That's right, I do.
Knows Larry, whose tent is under the 101 well.
That's true. I know Larry well.
And so then
Give
you
him
hear
Twinkies every Wednesday.
That's like what the reporter says, and then you hear the cop go like, "Hey, Larry."
No.
And then
I didn't know you had that as an interest.
Like human interest stories are.
I didn't know you listen to human interest stories on NPR. You sit down with a friend, you find out something new.
Well, NPR in general, I just turned it on. But
NPR.
My point is, background noises paint a picture.
Yeah, paint a picture. Be here with us now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Close your eyes. Listen to the sweet sounds of the lawnmower.
Listen, that's life in the canyon, sister.
That is life in the canyon. We love life in the canyon.
Yeah.
Right?
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about us like starting our own thing. And I'm just like, yeah, the title, the vision, the everything, like I'm obsessed. But it's like, yeah, getting over that fear of exposing like the thing that I love the most, of like
your life,
keeping it sacred. Yeah.
It's like you don't want to put all of your life on blast.
But then I realized that my life is amazing and I want to share it. And I feel like it's my job to like
share it. And
like
you're having the experience, not just so that you can hoard the experience. You're having the experience so that you can share the experience.
Totally.
Because it's an interesting place. this canyon.
It's very special, I believe.
It's a very special canyon. The pandemic has brought us to this canyon.
Yeah.
How do you feel like your life has changed since you've come to the canyon?
You know, I want to say, before we hype up the canyon too much,
okay,
let her keep her anonymity a little bit. I feel like you can find the canyon anywhere.
I like that. Okay.
The nature of this place is so spread out and so just like organic and in the earth and in the mountains, and you like, it's an experience. Like, you would come to visit me all the time, but I don't think you truly realized how kind of like rough and tumble more you have to be here versus like being like when you
in
first
the valley.
Had to park on your driveway, you were like, ugh.
I'm still like, wait, what?
Yeah,
this is my parking spot. That's fucked up. I'm like, oh wait, I can't just like flush anything down the toilet.
Right. Okay, so this is it.
Let's talk septic tanks. You guys want to know about septic tanks?
Septic tanks will quickly lead to my colon, and we gotta leave that out of this conversation.
This bitch loves talking about her colon any chance she gets.
Digestive health is the most important thing about your health.
She speaks so freely about her gut health and her colon health that it's frankly appalling. I just can't. Truly can't even. The only person who speaks as much about their colon is my grandma, who suffers from IBS.
I feel like I have big grandma energy to like the highest degree. Like,
there's nothing wrong with grandma energy. Everyone should really embrace their inner grandma.
It's more just that if my digestive system's out of whack, that starts to get me concerned that other things are starting to go. And it is that.
Yeah. You've gotten acupuncture on your gut.
I get it all the time.
She's a canyon dweller.
Okay, so
I get it all the time.
Wait, let me finish the canyon thing.
Okay, so what you're saying is it's more find your own canyon by you where you are?
Because the thing that I feel like I found here was like a return to like what's real and what's important, and in a real way, like taking care of your surroundings and like being super aware of that, and just like against the hustle mentality into a more like earth connected, like sustainable, calm way of living. And I don't just mean sustainable as in like vintage clothing, yes, but sustainable for like your own self, because I feel that my other life prior to this time was not really, it was always on the edge for a long time. That's
what do you mean by always on the edge?
Anxiety, loneliness, just darker feelings of existence,
right,
that don't need to be your sole experience. When you start prioritizing being outside, having a connection to your surroundings, talking to your neighbors, like not being on your phone all the time, just like your immediate environment becomes so much more important because you're not running around all the time, I think.
But so it's interesting that we have this experience during 2020 because not everyone is having the same experience during 2020. Well, in fact, I think some people feel like they're where you were and where I was perhaps before the pandemic.
100%.
So what is the advice to the people who are trying to find their canyon?
I love that. I think it's that, I mean, look, I so know what it feels like to struggle.
Right. I think that's what makes this so special, is because it was like after so much struggle coming to a place that's just the way the lifestyle is just, it's harder in a lot of ways because you're like outdoors in the mountains. You have to worry about things you haven't had to worry about.
I think
before.
I know what it is.
What?
I think it's that for us, it's just good timing because we've been doing some really hard work on ourselves.
Right.
And I think that is the advice. Is like, if you're struggling, if you're really, really struggling and things are so fucked up, first of all, don't give up. Know that you're being presented a certain set of challenges and that like, if you don't succumb to them, you can overcome them.
Totally. But it's so hard not to, like, I guess, shrivel up and die when shit's really bad. So it's like, if you can endure that.
My advice is to make your body as healthy as possible.
Totally.
That's my first piece of advice.
Which I will say that's really good advice. And I think a lot of people are probably struggling with that. I know that like alcoholism is up like a very large amount since the start of the pandemic.
I'm sure. Become a stoner instead.
Become a stoner.
That's my look.
Split a hard kombucha.
Split a hard kombucha. No, if you're alcoholic, pass on the hard kombucha. Oh, Bowie.
Bowie, hi.
Where's Carlos? Oh, Bowie.
Hi.
Bowie is Sarah's dog share. Have you told the story of the dog share on the podcast?
Yes, I've talked about I've talked about the
Carlos
dog share.
pinning him down.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
He's oh my gosh, he's disciplining him. Yes, uncle. You tell that boy.
What?
Okay, break it up. Look, because Bowie's bad. Carlos is showing him boundaries. Do you see how he's holding him? Good.
So funny.
That's good because he doesn't want him to jump on me. But Bowie needs to learn that he can't be doing that in general.
Wow.
Damn, Carlos is fucking masculine.
Okay, first of all, Stephanie has a little chihuahua named Carlos. I have this dog that I share. You guys know all about it. But they don't even know how high energy this dog is.
No.
Come on.
Just leave him alone. He is wild. See?
Hi.
Oh, Bowie.
Oh my God. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Anyways, I think it's good advice, and I like that you're even asking that question because I do feel like that's like what I'm trying to ask myself, to go back to the thing of like, what's the purpose of like not hoarding the life and all of that stuff. It's like, I do feel like I did the work really hard for the last 10 plus years. And now I want to be someone who's like helping people.
Right. So basically, like, you feel like you've tried on all the different wellness hats to get to the place where you are now. Like, you've done all of the things.
It's not about trying on the wellness hats. I think that's the fundamental problem with the question like that, which is a question that's asked a lot of like, what's the craziest thing you've ever done in the name of wellness? You know, like, that's not my energy. It's like, I'm doing it because I want to genuinely feel my very best.
Right, but you don't just get there from not experimenting with different things. You have to try
everything if you can.
So the good thing is, like, since you've been doing all of that, you've figured out the shortcuts,
right?
To some degree, it takes people a really long time to figure these things out.
Things that you should be looking at.
Years of therapy,
breath work,
breathing, all of that. A lot of self-help shit. I mean, what do you think the work is? Because if you just say the work, it's like, what is that? I'm doing the work.
For me, it's like, it's different for everyone, first of all, but also for me, it's like being on a personal quest to be in alignment, mind and body and spirit.
I like that. And so do you feel that the pandemic has given you an opportunity to do that in a way that life didn't before?
100%.
Because you're no longer on everyone else's schedule. You're really more on your own schedule, and you're in nature more, or what?
I think that when everything, when your reality, the reality that was, we got so shaken up and we were so tethered to like the way things were, that like when that happens and you lose a sense of like, dude, people were just like dropping dead. People were losing everything, money, like everything just got so fucked up. And it's like, you got to ask yourself when you're in that position as a people, like, what are our values that created this situation? Like the capitalism, just dominance and just destruction, and like recognizing my own participation in that, and like feeling really run down by it and really grossed out by it, but also like needing to live and make money and like,
right.
That is a real thing. But like, because everything fell down, I feel like it's like we have this opportunity to be like, how do I want to engage in the necessity of like living and thriving and making money without necessarily sucking the teat of capitalism and just like having a shitty job because like it's just a job, and like you work for a huge corporation and they suck and they, you know,
right,
like they dump their trash in the ocean and then whatever, and we're all part of this like ugly structure. It really made me be part of the change that doesn't do that anymore.
Right.
And that just like came down to, am I just so high?
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Like,
Totally. I also don't have pants on. So
right.
we're all, it's a loose conversation. We can be high and exploring different things within our mind spaces.
No, I really.
While I wear no pants.
No, it's like we're free, is my point. That's the whole point.
You know how many people wish they could podcast wearing no pants?
Right. And then it's like, okay, do I sound privileged? Like, oh, yeah, you wish, But it's like, no, like each of us, wherever we are in life, we can control one thing. We can control what we eat. And you could tell me that if you're poor and you can't afford organic food, then go somewhere and buy like canned fucking spinach and drain it and like put a little salt on it and squeeze a lemon on it. Like you can eat regular food, whole foods with a budget. It's not really, that's just a framework and an idea.
Wow, the dogs. Is this like the NPR story we were talking about earlier?
Yeah. And you're watching an Uncle Chihuahua dominate and discipline a puppy. Okay, that's enough.
Wow. It's so funny because Carlos is so much smaller.
Yeah, I wish they could see it.
Yeah.
I'll take a video.
Anyways. No, that makes sense. What you're saying totally makes sense. I think you're right. I think that, major structures have totally been broken and are going to have to be rebuilt in a way that no one could have expected.
But it starts with us as individuals.
It's just like when you think about like, your New Year's resolutions for 2020. It's like,
did you see that girl's video where she was like, here's a list that I
yeah.
And then in the end is like, call her grandma and she's like drunk on wine and she's like, my grandma died.
Yeah. This comedian made this really funny thing.
That was so funny.
Yeah. It just like, it's crazy. Like it just shows you never know what's next.
Yeah.
And like on a global level to like it's fucked up because like natural disasters happen, but that happens in, select areas at a time.
Yeah.
It's not like the whole globe is suffering from an earthquake.
Right.
But this is like the whole globe is suffering from a pandemic.
Yeah, it's
and
so
it's
weird.
So fucked up.
It's so weird.
It's so fucked up.
But this is also, the point of the health thing that I'm saying too.
Right.
It's like,
that's true.
You're never you can get a vaccine. Go for it. If that's what you want and that's in your heart and that's what you need, do that. But you can also not wait for a vaccine. You can also be proactive about your health. You can take vitamin D. You can take vitamin C. You can go outside. Like, you can eat healthy whole foods. Like there's things you can do.
I mean, going outside is a huge one because
I swear to God, that's why I'm not like a depressed mess. Because I'm outside all day, every day.
All the time.
Yeah.
Which I feel really fortunate about because it's like I can sit on this table and work outside.
Be outside. You know what's really fucking depressing and bad for your health?
Being inside.
Being on fucking Zoom. I literally am on Zoom. Like it sucks. Like I have to do my podcast on Zoom and I'm doing it. I'm just like, it's not you that I don't want to be doing this with. I just don't want to be at this computer like this. Like it's not connecting in person is just
and then
where
it freezes
at.
And then you're like looking at yourself and it's like frozen and you're like, I think it's frozen. And it's like, they're like, yeah, it's frozen.
And you're like,
can you hear me? Did you hear the last thing I said? It's like, it's so much.
Yeah, dude.
But I do like that we don't need pants in this new reality.
See, no, this part of it is cool. I think it's also, okay, to go back to like what has the canyon taught you and what are the lessons, like because we got deprived of like socialization for much of the time, and then it was like if you're gonna socialize you have to be doing it in like small groups. I think there was like a back to basics type of vibe when it comes to like relationships of like who you chose to spend your time with during this time to me is extremely significant.
Right. Because you're like, actually, because like also I don't have time for chaotic people in 2020. Listen, the year's been chaotic enough. So if you're bringing some chaos of any kind, you got to go. I just need somebody who's working on themselves.
It honestly scares me. Yes, just work on yourself, please. And don't put it on me.
And don't put it on me.
Like, take care of... I'm so inclined to reach out and help someone when I see that they're helping themselves in these small ways. When I see that people aren't trying to help themselves and then they want to take, I'm like, no.
Do you find that you have people coming to you that are wanting you to replenish them in ways that you cannot give?
All the time.
I have that too. And I also find that I'm like inherently I'm a people pleaser. So setting those boundaries is something that's really that's not second nature to me, but I have been getting a lot better at.
That was one of the talk about the work things. Like learning to set boundaries was a really big part of mine in my like self-work with my life coach and stuff.
Right. So why do you think it's so important to set boundaries? Because like, okay, let's be real. The term boundaries, it shows up randomly. And in about 2019, we start seeing it.
Yeah.
We start seeing this buzzword, boundaries. It's like, excuse me, I'm setting boundaries. Sorry, be right back. Setting boundaries. I didn't text you back because that's my boundary.
I know.
And it's like, I can't think of another word for it. However, it's like, there's something about it when people are like, I'm setting a boundary.
Here's the man, Carlos.
It's like, I don't know. It's kind of like it popped up out of nowhere and now it's here to stay. And it's like important though.
Do you think it's because this is the first time I've thought of this, but when I was hearing you talk about it, I think it's because it's not natural to be at everyone's fingertips at all times with the phone.
Yeah. And so we didn't need to set boundaries in the 80s because like, bitch, you called me. Did you leave a message?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, you didn't leave him. I'll get back to you. It wasn't that instant response
Exactly.
thing. And it's like, and with social media, you're right. I do think it is.
Yeah.
I think we've had to set boundaries because of social media.
Yeah.
It's like your boss can't be emailing you at 1 a.m. You're not accessible all of the time to
wild.
everybody.
Yeah.
But like, I think with everything that's happened this year, so many more people are actually needing to set boundaries.
Right.
They're actually like, I need for you to stop calling me when you're drunk crying because you don't have a job and like figure it out.
Yeah.
I need you to stop like
I mean, the most 2020 moment was that video where that girl took her fucking entire office into the bathroom with her on Zoom and she was
What?
shitting.
No.
Yeah, and like okay, in like the beginning of the pandemic when it was like big Zoom meetings or whatever. Yeah, I don't think it was a joke.
She was shitting during the Zoom.
She took them to the bathroom with her by accident.
You don't accidentally shit on a Zoom.
I think she forgot. I literally in my mind.
I'm so upset. You know who I get. You know how I feel about shitting.
Yeah, you're not that type of grandma.
I'm not that type of gam.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think what happened was her brain turned to mush on the Zoom meeting and she probably had to pee so bad.
It's Zoom's fault.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
I mean, why not just leave the meeting and come back? That's why boundaries.
That's literally what it is.
It's like
it's not supposed to be so invasive all of the time.
And also sometimes I've noticed like people on social media since pandemic, wild journeys. It's like, honey, you don't need to post yourself all the time.
Dude, 85% of people on social media are having a nervous breakdown.
And sharing it proudly.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
catch me podcasting sans pants, talking shit on everyone else's nervous
times
breakdown.
when I see people sing and I'm like, should I reach out? Is it a cry for help?
Yeah, because straight up, there are many cries for help in 2020 on Instagram.
It's chilly out here.
Yeah, it's chilly up in this canyon.
Wow.
Well,
the Canyon Diaries.
The Canyon Diaries.
It has something.
It does. I think people would listen to us talk about the canyon.
Yeah.
Comment below if you would. I mean, I think people would. I think there's a lot of interesting canyon critters, if you will. Mm-hmm. And by critters, I mean people.
Well, we've gone on like many adventures.
We have.
We've been trekking around here since I moved here in April.
We've been trucking around here since I've probably started coming here around May.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, we have met some people.
I mean, do I know anyone else besides the people in the canyon?
No, but like, what would you say is something that's like unique to canyon people that you've noticed? Do you have anything?
I feel like everyone's just like more like open
and authentically themselves.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the people are not just people, like everyone's like a unique character. It's like it's not like a 3-dimensional character that you couldn't even make up in your head.
Yeah, it's like you can really be whoever you want here.
Like Sergio.
Oh my God, Sarah.
Okay.
Okay,
how do we explain?
Okay. So
how do we explain that day? Do we even try?
That was a magical day.
How would you explain that day?
Sergio is a man. He's kind of hot.
He's not kind of hot. He
smells
hot.
Really good.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know about the scent of Sergio.
We saw each other up close.
Oh, did you?
And he made note of it.
What did he say?
It was so wild. So I was like, I was like kind of drunk. My brother had just left my house, like not so drunk. I don't have a problem. And I was like walking and see, now I'm getting in my head that I'm sharing the Sergio story.
Why? Well, we can tell. Why don't you tell the story about who Sergio is? You don't have to tell the full Sergio story.
Right.
Why don't we explain who Sergio is to the listeners so they can get an idea of the type of creatures that are roaming around the canyon? Not so much.
Oh my God.
Like the nitty gritty details.
Right. Okay. Okay. Sergio is a man who works at this place called the Butterfly.
Okay.
And the Butterfly is like an Airbnb hotel thing.
Right.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. It looks like it came out of a storybook.
Yeah, like the first time that I laid at that pool, I was literally like, wow, you did something right here.
And there's like wild peacocks walking around.
It's beautiful.
There's butterflies flying around. Okay, so Sergio works there.
Yeah.
Paint a picture of what Sergio looks like because
Sergio is about 5'8".
Oh. I think she's actually incredibly right with that. Yeah, he is about 5'8".
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting to start with height. I'm like, let's start with the most obvious thing.
Oh, the green beard.
He has a green.
Why was I burying the lead so hard?
I was like, is she gonna say that he has a fucking green beard?
Why wasn't I just like, Sergio has a green beard?
That's got to be the opener.
What the hell just happened?
He's a man who's in charge of planting plants for butterflies,
yes.
And he has a green beard.
That's right. That's right.
And that's what makes him unique.
Yes. And we met him.
We met him one morning before we were going to go on a hike. I
knew of him and I had seen him around.
Oh, you knew of him because he runs the grounds. He plants everything, and there's like this thing called the butterfly house.
Yeah.
And then there's all this milkweed in there, and that attracts butterflies and like plants that make caterpillars. It's basically like a butterfly wonderland in a bed and breakfast.
Yeah. It's
in the
so
middle
nuts.
of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so imagine being super stoned and just like we walk out of Steph's.
I felt like I was tripping my face off.
We walk out of Steph's house and the first thing we see is just like a man. Oh no.
We saw the other guy.
Yes, whatever.
Yeah.
Just imagine being stoned and seeing a man with a green beard.
Oh my
who's
God.
in charge of butterfly life. Like what? And everyone that we meet in this canyon is like some character like that.
Yeah.
It's not like, it seemed like he only came out of his storybook. I'm like, I'm sorry, was I drinking mushroom tea? How is it that before noon, I met a man who tends to butterflies and butterfly plant life that has a green beard?
My name's Sarah. And he goes, oh, and you go, you can call me Sarita. And I was like, what the? I was like, okay. And he's like, oh, Sarita. And then when I saw him again, I said that.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get his number so I could get you to text him. Mm-hmm. And it like wasn't working. Like he didn't know what his phone number was. And then it was like a really weird like tech default.
Butterfly man with the green beard, not great at tech.
And then so I like wrote my number on Notepad, and then he took a picture of my number, and then
I'm sorry, what?
It was very elaborate.
Okay.
Like it was 10 steps for one.
We love how technology and the canyon do not go hand in hand.
You can't be raising a flock of butterflies and know how to use a cell phone.
And have a green beard.
There's just no way.
It's just too many things.
So then he goes, he was like, oh, you look really cool.
No.
And I was like, oh, thanks. He's like, I'd never seen you up close.
No.
And I was like, oh. And he's like, are you married? And I was like, no. He's like, oh, and like ran away.
No.
And I was like, oh my God, Sergio.
Sergio, I got to try to buy some milkweed from him.
I'm wondering if this story is not to be shared.
Why, it's funny.
It is.
It's so bizarre that we know a man with a green beard named Sergio who tends to butterflies.
Yeah, but maybe we don't say exactly where it is.
We didn't.
We said the mermaid.
Oh.
Maybe we just cut that part out.
We can.
Is that annoying?
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's chill.
Right.
She's like,
having
I have
a
to
meltdown.
remind her that we can do whatever we want. No one's our boss.
My
Sometimes
mantra
that's
has
liberating.
been, everyone can do whatever they want, but I need to apply it to myself.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want.
Always. You can always do whatever you want. You know? I feel like the pandemic has shown me that doing whatever you want's the move, because at the end of the day there are no guarantees. So at least if there's so many people who have devoted the last 10 years of their life to climbing the ladder at a corporate job that they fucking hated, now that company doesn't exist anymore because we're in a global pandemic with no end in sight. So it's like, do what you want.
This is what I'm saying.
Oh, she's taking
This
a
is
stretch
what I'm saying.
break. What's going on? Are we doing a little yin yoga here? Okay, you have a wellness podcaster on your podcast. The next thing you know, she's deep breathing and stretching.
You're telling me I'm free, then I want to be free.
But you express yourself however
Let me
you
move
see
around.
fit.
I gotta shake it out.
Shake it out. Get the energy moving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so cold out here. I wish you had butt cushions.
I don't. I'm sorry. Do you want this?
No, you're not wearing
blanket?
pants. You can keep the blanket.
I stopped wearing pants and I've become a full sock model.
I know. I think that's so funny for you.
Which
Why don't you mention them
I'm
on the way out?
I'm about to. Hold on. Stay right there. Can you entertain the people at home while I go get something? What are you doing?
Oh, I was going to take a picture of you for your sock influencing
Oh, I stay sock
in your
influencing.
pantsless reality.
I am wearing Brady Bunch socks from Oh Yeah Socks. Shop Oh Yeah 3 O's HYEAH.com. That's 3 O's YEAH.com. Oh yeah, discount code Sara 10.
Can you spell it one more time?
Oh yeah, that's 3 O's HYEAH.com. Head to ohyeah.com. Enter discount code Sara 10. You heard it here. Okay, hang on. Before I go too far, I have a gift for you. Hold on.
Oh, great. Oh my God, this is perfect. I hope this is what I think it is.
Oh no, I hope it is. I don't think it's what you think it
a
is.
pair of Oh Yeah socks?
You're gonna find out.
Okay.
It's not from where this bag says.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Oh yeah, Bill and Ted. Yes.
Didn't you? That's it. Didn't you just see that?
Oh my God.
Didn't you just see Bill and Ted?
No, but I love Keanu Reeves so much.
Bill and
And
Ted.
I forgot socks. And I thought to myself when I was leaving my house, she'll have socks for me.
I will.
And then he literally gave me socks.
Really?
Yes.
That's so crazy.
I know.
You have no socks.
No, and
She's
I brought
in a
my shoes
fucking
to go
Ugg.
hiking.
She's just in an Ugg sand socks. Now that is a bold move.
You wear socks with your Uggs?
I stay wearing socks.
But isn't the whole point?
I have no pants on right now and I'm wearing socks.
Well, when you're sponsored by Oh Yeah, it's a pleasure to wear socks.
Yeah. Every day is a new sock.
Excellent. Oh my God, this is so great. Thank you so much to Sarah and Oh Yeah Socks.
Yeah, shop.
Discount code.
Sara 10.
There you go.
SARA 10. You heard it here. Okay, what?
yes.
How are your beverages doing? What's going on?
I'm still working on all of them.
I'm done. I'm done with all my bevs.
Yeah. So do your fans know about how you're like the fastest snack consumer of all time?
No, we should tell them.
Sarah,
I be out
Can't
here
be trusted.
shanking the snacks. I love a snack.
well, I'll pour her and me the same drink and give us the same snack. By the time I've like took a sip, I look over and her whole thing is done. She's pounding snacks.
I'm pounding them.
I love it.
Because most of the snacks that you give me are fucking delicious.
Yeah.
You come with some good snacks,
Yeah.
bitch, and then you're like, I can't believe you ate all my snacks. I'm like, then don't give me them because they're
let me
too
offer you
good.
a snack.
Uh-oh.
Gluten-free Oreo made by Glutino. It's not like a healthy thing, but if you're like a fun friend of an Oreo and sometimes you just want to party.
I'm going to eat this.
Yeah.
Is this ASMR?
Yeah, I think so.
Hold on. Pretty sure it's not supposed to sound like that.
Is it funny?
It sounds insane. This is fucking delicious.
Right?
Let's be honest. Sometimes you got to take a break for a cookie.
Yeah. Okay. Carlos, I think, is cold. We all need some more shearling in our life.
Shearling?
You know, I'm pro vintage fur. If fur is in circulation, I want it.
Vintage fur, do you feel like it's less bad?
Yeah, it's already done, but it still keeps you warm. The reason why people use fur is because it's fucking warm. And it's like arguably better than creating more clothes made of plastic, which is what like polyester and stuff is.
Polyester is the worst fabric in the world.
Yeah.
Polyester? You want
Yeah.
to smell like body odor? Throw on a polyester shirt and do one errand.
Yeah.
Go to Rite Aid in a polyester shirt. By the time you're done, you'll smell like shit.
Yeah. It's bad.
This is an anti-polyester campaign.
I am anti.
I am too. Don't
Yeah.
get me started. Don't get me amped on polyester.
Yeah.
Worst fabric.
Yeah.
It's like
gross.
if someone's wearing polyester.
And you know, a lot of like things are like 70% poly, 30% cotton.
What does that say about them?
It's cheaper.
Come on. Level up.
Yeah, level up. Reduce, reuse, recycle, friends.
Burn your polyester. Or donate it.
Just, I don't know what to do with it at this point. Yeah.
It smells probably.
Number one thing is don't make any more. Like,
We've had enough. If H&M is going to be sustainable, then everywhere could be.
every single fucking big brand could be. Do you know how many clothes are in circulation? Do you know that when you go and donate, like, so you're like, oh, I have a bunch of extra clothes. I'm going to donate it to Goodwill. And you like feel like you're a good person and you go and you drop it off and you're like, thank you. And you like get like a little tax write off and it's cute, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time,
Such a cute moment.
most of the time, those clothes get like vacuum sealed and like sent to warehouses. Like,
And then what?
there's just so many more clothes in circulation than we don't need to be making more stuff.
For all I fucking know, someone could have been murdered in this shirt. Now I'm wearing it.
I always think about that with my vintage
I
stuff.
hate that feeling.
I'm like, I think I'm carrying around a weird old man.
I have the energy of a fun 70s
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah.
A kooky aunt
Yeah.
who loves punch. That's the vibe I'm picking up from this shirt. I don't know what to tell you.
I like that.
Yeah. This says I'm fun.
Yeah, we're all one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing about vintage clothes. As long as it doesn't have the scent of the former owner, I'm on board.
Yeah. If they kept it nice.
I don't want to smell any perfumes.
That's why nicer fabrics like silk or cotton or wool, like, or certain
Polyester. I have a
blends.
polyester shirt actually from the 70s in there. And let me tell you, it smells weird as fuck.
Yeah, you can't wear that stuff for real. It's costume.
It's a costume. But we love a costume.
Yeah, of course. It's collectors, but you can't like, you don't want to be smelling like that.
I don't want to be smelling like a man at a poker table
Yeah.
after losing 8 rounds.
Yeah, you know, that like weird old, like vintage wet, like
Man.
leather smell.
A vintage
Where it's
old
like
smoker
dusty.
dead man.
Yeah. Ugh.
There's nothing worse than the smell of vintage smoker dead man.
Wait, we also
What?
have to talk about the undoing before we go.
Okay.
Or should we just reserve that for next time?
We can talk about the undoing.
That's what I was thinking about on the way over here. That would be funny to.
Okay, we can
talk
touch
about.
on that. I don't know if everyone who's listening has seen the undoing.
Don't watch it.
I loved it. I have the exact opposite opinion. It's a series on HBO Max with Nicole Kidman, Hugh Grant. Honestly,
Yeah.
I loved it
Okay.
from start to finish.
I was into it, but I was starting to feel like it didn't know where it was going.
Okay.
And
She's a critic.
In the end, I was just like, that's so annoying. Like, I don't think they did a good enough job of getting us into the head, like, of the Nicole Kidman character. Like, I wanted it to be more of a psychological thriller.
I was 100% in her eyes. I was seeing Hugh Grant from the lens of, like, I couldn't see him for who he really was. That's all I'll say.
So you were, okay.
I felt duped.
Yeah.
I was like, no way. And then I was like, what is my taste in men? that I couldn't see this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved how it showed how people can have two sides to them.
I didn't trust him
from day one.
From day one, I wasn't sure. But then when he, especially looking back, when he like tried to blame her and then like tried to blame the kid. This is all spoilers, by the way.
Yeah.
I was just like, who would do that? Blame your own family? No.
I thought, because it was so insane that he had to be telling the truth. I'm having another cookie. Also, love that you showed up with like a Ziploc full of cookies. It's like, is it recess? This is for taking me straight back. Is this how you would have snacks?
Yeah.
Same. Did you like the snacks that were packed for you? What did you think of them? Was your mom good at bringing the snack game? Because I'd always look at other people's and be like, what do you have? Damn, I wish I had that. Snack envy.
I feel like I got good snacks because I always went to the store too.
Were you able to manipulate to get the snacks you want?
It wasn't really a manipulation,
I'd have to manipulate.
Oh, really?
A lot of manipulation happening as a child.
Interesting.
Please.
Why?
Because my mom had very strong boundaries with the food that we could have.
Because it was her own issue?
It was like...
Or because it was like healthier?
Healthier. Mm-hmm. She'd be like, we're not going to have sugar cereal for breakfast.
Oh, yeah. We didn't really have that stuff.
It wasn't like couldn't go to the store and get whatever I wanted at all.
Right.
I mean, I remember one time we brought Dunkaroos to soccer practice.
I didn't get that stuff.
Okay, Dunkaroos
were so good.
So good. I never got them except for when my mom brought snack to soccer.
Yeah.
Like, that's when I got them.
Interesting.
And because it was like that, I felt like I like when it was around, I had to eat all of it. Maybe that's where my snack issues come from. We're getting to the bottom of some shit. I'll talk with an Oreo in my mouth.
Snacking like the next time you're allowed is when you win a game.
Yeah.
Sad.
I stay snacking like it's halftime.
With
the orange slices.
Yeah.
Gatorade.
Oh my God.
I used to love Gatorade.
Yeah.
I used to love Gatorade when I was a kid playing sports, and then during my rave years, I also replenished.
But have you drank a Gatorade recently?
Disgusting.
It's so sweet. It's insane.
It's so much sugar.
It's like, you're like,
I'm like, oh, that's weird. So something that's an icy blue color that looks the same, like exactly like Windex, is bad for me.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
That's so crazy. It's like, okay, when it starts showing up in those types of colors, it can't be great.
Yeah.
It's so not natural.
Yeah.
It's like yellow, red, blue. It's like too much.
Yeah.
I remember that back in the day, though, they had like all the different Frost colors. And those were all pretty.
Frost?
Yeah, Frost Gatorades.
Oh, yeah.
That was like an icy purple.
Icy.
Yeah.
I loved that. I loved the Frost Gatorade.
I feel like
I really used to consume real trash.
I did too in the 90s. Everybody
even
did.
Even like the early 2000s into like graduating college, I was still kind of like.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
Because also the healthier stuff wasn't. I feel like in the 90s, in the 80s, the type of food people ate, 80s and 90s, I think 90s was worse because people were getting the shit supersized then.
Yeah.
Like, that was part of culture. Like, yeah. I remember my mom went out of town and my dad got 2 orders of 24-piece chicken nuggets and we ate them all.
Oh, my God.
My sister and I. Because that was, like, never a snack we would ever have.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, don't tell mom. And we did, of course.
No.
Yeah, whenever my dad was in charge and my mom went out of town, which was really rare, I remember being like, I can't believe we're stuck with dad because he doesn't know how to braid.
Oh my
And
God.
he's really bad at doing hair.
That's so funny. I have the weirdest memory of my dad, my mom being out of town and my dad like having to do my hair. And it was like, I remember how his hands kind of like grabbed my hair.
You're like, you're doing
and we're,
it
like,
wrong.
awkward, and we're like pulling the rubber band all fucked up, and it was super low and weird. And I was just like, no.
Mom does this so
It's
much.
not how she does it.
Yeah. Moms have to give dads tutorials. On hair.
Yeah. Dad needs to learn how to braid.
Daddy needs to be braiding.
If dad can't braid,
He's out.
that's like a basic brain skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember this girl, her dad, I'm not going to say her name. Her dad, he was a single dad, and the way that he fucking braided.
Really? That's hot.
It was like a weird flex, though.
Yeah.
It was like he was getting elaborate. It was
Yeah.
like, all right, we need you to calm down, Ed. We need to calm down with these elaborate braids.
Yeah.
It's too much. She had ribbons. She had clips.
Yeah.
She had French twists.
Yeah.
She had side ponytails.
Wow.
She had it all. Barrettes with those little balls at the end.
Dad was having fun.
Yeah.
As he should.
My mom would do my hair, and then I'd go, can you redo it? I don't like it. And she'd redo it, and then I'd look at it again and say, I still don't like it because there's a bump right here. And she's like, I'm not going to redo your hair all morning, Sarah. Then I would have a fit about my hair. I went through this phase. It was so weird. It was like in like 4th or 5th grade. There was this girl. Her name was Anna. I won't say her last name. But so she was like,
Hey.
really good at soccer. She was the best at soccer, right? And everyone thought she was really cool, but she used to do this thing with her hair where she would like slick it back and like comb it. So everyone else started doing it, and I started doing it too. My hair would be like slicked back, like with mousse gel, like lacquered the fuck back. It's like, what are you planning for?
Yeah.
It was insane. And I did that for like a year. I had different weird hairstyles.
Yeah.
In 1st grade, I got obsessed with crimping.
You really commit to looks.
I do.
Yeah.
Every day in 1st grade, I would have my mom braid my hair so that I could wake up with crimped hair.
You know, I would love a crimping iron. I think I used to have one.
I mean, a crimping iron?
Like, I feel like my hair would really like thrive in a crimped environment.
Yeah, but you could also just braid it and sleep in it.
I mean, that's kind of what's happening here.
She's got a lot of looks going. She's got tousled, carefree hair. We love it. We love to see it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting so
All right, let's
cold.
wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so where can people find you?
Catch me if you can.
Catch me.
Should that be my new tagline?
Yeah. Just you running.
Yeah.
With a mischievous look on your face.
Yeah. This was so fun.
So fun. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for coming on.
Tell people about your podcast.
That's so retrograde.
That's right. That's so retrograde. You can subscribe everywhere the podcasts are.
Yeah, it's where you can get more deeper into the work that we were talking about.
And wellness.
Just in every element of just like self-improvement.
We love
Consciousness.
it. Consciousness. Bliss.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I don't know which way is what.
And what's your Instagram and Twitter?
Can you just tag me?
I'll tag her in the description, and it'll be in the description of this episode. Also, if you're not listening on YouTube, if you're not watching on YouTube, you're missing out. Head to Sara Weinshenk, subscribe, follow me at Princess Shank, Twitter, Instagram. I will have show dates coming sometime soon, depending on pandemic.
I can't believe you let me.
We'll be in Austin sometime in January. Buy a pair of Oh Yeah socks. They make great presents. They also have great masks, bandanas. So let's explain what's happened.
Okay.
So
Since you've been gone,
since we've last podcasted, which was only a few hours ago, we went on a hike.
I feel like this is like an end of the world, like journey recap.
We're
Whoever finds this time capsule, please know how it was.
This is what It's the apocalypse. We've been on a hike.
It's approximately 7:45 in the PM Pacific Standard Time, and the moon is full in Gemini, and it's
we are in a bunker.
We are moving through the portal in a bunker.
Okay, so we recorded a podcast and we went on a hike, and on the hike we realized that we forgot a very important thing. And this thing happened to us while we were meditating on a rock.
Yeah, so Sarah and I have taken to having this ritual where we meet each other at my house. We have a coffee, we smoke a little morning weed, we have a conversation, and then we hit the mountain. We go to the top of the mountain and we meditate. And it's like 2 miles up to the top and then 2 miles down.
Right.
And so there's Carlos again, guys. You remember Carlos.
He's just whining because he wants love.
Yeah. So we get
like
to
us all.
Yeah. So we get to our bench. And
Yes.
we're meditating. And, these meditations lately have been
Crazy.
powerful.
Crazy because it's the only time where I've ever been able to download information that feels like it's advice from my spirit.
Yeah.
And I'm it's not something that I'm coherently thinking. It's something that comes forth into me in a way that's oh, this is why people do this.
Yeah, I loved hearing you describe it because I obviously have had that experience as well,
Right.
but I've never totally known how to put it into words. So how you described it, you were just it was someone was talking to me that wasn't me, but it was my voice, but it was real wisdom that it was you knew that when you came out of the meditation, you're remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was downloading information from the sky.
Yeah.
So basically.
Yeah.
But it was so clear. And every time lately when we've been doing those meditations, I think it's because I've been doing it longer. We've been doing it for longer. We've been doing 13 minutes.
Yeah.
And just the amount of wisdom I've gained from just doing that has been so crazy. So anyways, we were meditating on a bench.
In our wisdom meditation, and all of a sudden, what do we hear? Hear a man and a woman approach.
Yes.
I actually opened my eyes when the man was approaching because he was sucking in his mask and his breathing so hard. It sounded like... And I look over and it was one of those blue surgical masks, and it was literally flapping inward and outward. He was heave-hawing. He was a man about probably, 50 years old? 55?
No, he looked old as fuck for 50. Probably 60.
No.
An old 55.
I'm giving...
I think it might be an old 55.
Victor.
His name was Victor.
He was a cigar-smoking Uber driver vibe.
With some type of brace on his knee.
He had a brace on?
Yeah.
I didn't even catch the brace.
Okay. I did make note of the brace.
Okay, and I noticed that he wasn't standing up super straight.
Look, Victor was struck
through a lot.
And it's a pandemic, no judgment.
Yeah.
Just this man looked like he had been chewed up by a dinosaur, then spat back out onto the rock in front of us.
He sounded like Darth Vader on the way up. I was like, what?
And we're just there trying to meditate. I'm trying to download information from the universe, and then we hear, Victor! Victor!
Yeah. Yeah.
The most cringe-worthy sound of a nagging Jewish wife.
I would say her character was more older, white lady.
Take out the Jew?
I'm not sure they were.
She was just a naggy wife.
She was okay, we described Victor. She was unfortunately, we never caught the name of wife of Victor.
No,
Henceforth,
because all we heard was
Victor's wife.
All we know is Victor.
No, so they sit down, they exchange water, and then he's like, I would like to go to the top of the rock. And she's like,
I really wish you wanted it Thanksgiving, Victor. That's what she says.
He's like, I must go.
And she goes, it's your destiny. And he's walking as he's walking to the rock. And at one point, Steph wakes up from the meditation. She goes, he's fine. It's we do this walk all the time. It's fine.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
But then when I opened my eyes again and I saw Victor hunched over. Santa Ana's fucking going ham. I literally put a prayer to the universe and I was like, please keep Victor safe. I like sent angels to Victor. I was like, Victor, you've got this.
Yeah.
And the whole time Victor's on the rock, you can see he's just, we forgot to say the thing that he said to her when he said, I must go. It will give me a sense of accomplishment.
and then she's like, it's your destiny, Victor. Yeah, and it's like, we're trying to download information from the universe. It's Thanksgiving. It's a lot.
But this ends up being information from the universe, by the by.
Right.
So anyways, he's up there the whole time. She's yelling at him still.
Victor, come back now. She's like, Victor, come back now! Victor! And you're like, oh my God.
I'm like, literally, he can't hear you and it's not doing anything what you're doing. Shut the fuck up.
Also, you're so annoying. I would want to do the opposite of whatever you're telling me.
I'm surprised Victor didn't go up to that rock to jump off to get away from you. What the fuck?
Okay, it was so sad. It was so bad.
So finally, Victor turns around. He appears in this little cave that's really cool at the top of the rock, comes down. It's a little precarious, I'm not going to lie. I kept my eye on him, but he made it.
He was limping with his brace back down the rock. What did he say? What does he say?
And then he gets to the bottom and he's like, there is a cool cave up there. And she's like, I know, I've been up there.
Yeah.
And I was like, this bitch trying to crush Victor's dreams, and she already seen it. And then he doesn't even flinch, Victor. And he just takes a sip of the water and takes a deep breath and just goes, a sense of accomplishment.
And it's like the most.
Oh my God.
You feel in that moment so bad for Victor.
Victor hasn't felt good about himself in some time.
He just needed that.
He needed that. That was, if he had died on that rock, it would have been worth it. because he was so dead inside.
I have never heard somebody do a task and then make an ecstasy noise and say, a sense of accomplishment.
I mean, that's the thing.
It was like, I'm sorry, did he just come?
He did. And she's like, I've been up there. It's like, you need to stop castrating this man.
And trying to control the way he lives his experience.
And stop being so scared. Have some fun. Go with him. If you've already been up there, you already know you could do it. I just feel like that's such like a yuck his yum moment of like, I've already seen it, so I don't need to see it. And like, you're not man enough to go up there and like, but maybe she's like, he has a leg brace and he's my husband and I don't want him to die.
There's that, but it was so clear that her fear of that was blocking him from living.
For like a while.
Like for his entire existence.
Right.
Victor, he hears that every day.
Every day. He really wasn't like responding to it. So Sarah and I both listened to that and then we kind of just like opened our eyes and looked at each other, but then like went back to the meditation and we were like, we both like blinked like, did you
need to talk about this.
Yeah. Like,
no, there is definitely like, we're going to need to discuss what just happened.
Put a pin in Victor and Victor's wife.
Victor's wife. It was so... It felt like the universe was like, here's an example of how not to be in a relationship.
It was such a lesson of like not being controlling and attached.
Right.
Because it's just like, you can never, everyone can do whatever they want. Everyone is their own being and their own person. And
let
like
Victor
it was
walk
more
to the fucking
for
cave.
Victor to have a sense of accomplishment. He was willing to risk his life for it. Scale the rock in the Santa Ana's with a leg brace because
on Thanksgiving.
What a hero.
Just for an escape from his fucking nagging wife.
Yeah. No, I mean,
just for a sense of accomplishment.
It's more about him needing a sense of accomplishment and like it's not even like the wife's fault. It's also his own inability to claim that for himself.
And also just how not to be in a relationship, how like codependency. It's like, just let him fucking go to the rock. He really wants to. He's a grown man.
Yeah. let him go. He doesn't
need to ask for your permission.
Him go. Like he's going. Like just be cool about it.
Why is he asking for your permission to go to the rock?
Unless you're getting an honest to God like psychic read that something bad's gonna happen. But this woman was not on that tip.
Oh, this woman was just concerned that she wasn't gonna have Victor in the chair next to her.
But I really think it's such like it's a big lesson about the relationship thing. But I also think it's really a big commentary on like what we were talking about earlier and how like what the purpose of just like living is and what are like essential things that people need. Like that was so desperate when he said that. It was like the most desperate thing I've ever seen.
On such a sad level. It was like he needed to touch that rock.
Yeah.
It was like the only thing he's maybe done in
like what, 20 years?
20 years is what it felt like. Mm-hmm. Right?
It really felt like that.
Oh my God! I wonder if he every day he's just addicted to the sense of accomplishment. I mean, it didn't seem like that though. It seemed like it was a rare thing because I've never seen somebody just like moan in ecstasy over a sense of accomplishment.
I mean, not in public and not in such like a direct like on the nose way, but like. In little ways, don't you think that's what we're all kind of seeking
we're trying
with what work we're doing and what we're showing up for and how we're spending our time and our resources?
Yes, because like crossing something off of a list also feels really good. Yeah. To be like, I did that, fuck yeah.
But it has to be something that's coming from a place of like true inner fire for it to feel like it's cool. Like, okay, yeah, going to the post office is like it's an errand or something is a cool thing, but like what if you're like sending an email to like connect you with something that you really want to connect with, like based on one of your interests for something that you might want to like do with your life or something where, you know, you're using your curiosity to you're going into your own curiosity.
Totally. And then
like Victor and the Rock.
So anyways, Victor and the Rock.
Victor and the Rock, a children's book.
Once there was a man named Victor and his wife, whose name goes unknown.
Wow, that was great.
They were taking a hike on Thanksgiving.
Grateful for them.
So grateful for them. Was such a bizarre moment. Was a very weird Thanksgiving gift from the universe.
And that's the lesson of the meditation.
And that's why we had to come
back on
in a different outfit post hike.
Yeah. Sarah said our sunglasses make us look insane. Would you leave a comment and let us know if that's the case? I don't feel comfortable showing my face like this.